Hey, what's going on, guys? It's CDED here, and I want to do a different kind of discussion video. I want to talk about Jurassic World 2. So for those of you who don't know, basically the big buzz around the kind of social networking sites is Colin Trevorrow basically giving his advice and thoughts on the Jurassic World 2, because we obviously know that Jurassic World 2 is set to come out in June 8th, 2018, and he's basically stated in a couple of interviews what he's talking about and what his idea was for the first film and what he hopes maybe could be for the second film. And so I just kind of want to give my thoughts and comments on an article that I found, basically stating a few things that I just really want to press more on and see what we can talk about. So anyway, guys, without any further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, guys, so this is basically an article that I found on a different kind of social media websites from the empireonline.com, and I basically just want to point out a couple of things that kind of just took my interest when reading this, and so I'm just kind of going to read it out to you. So you'll hopefully be able to see on the screen, Jurassic World is based on Ian Malcolm's quotes. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you want to sell it. That to me is Jurassic World, and that's why I had all the product placement, and that's what it was. So that's Colin Trevorrow kind of talking about Jurassic World and what it kind of meant to him, and what the kind of basis of the film, and essentially what the trilogy is going to be. And so I really kind of enjoy what they're kind of saying there and what he really did with the film, and it really did seem to work. So if I then go into the third paragraph, it then says, and the next film, the second one, Jurassic World 2, as we're driving, we tried to find what is the foundation. Dinosaurs and man, separated by 65 million years of evolution, we've been thrown back into the mix together. How can we have the possible idea what to expect? So that's obviously Ian Grant's, Sam Neill's character in the film. And so I like kind of what they're doing with this. It seems like they really kind of got this intriguing idea of what the Jurassic Park series means, which is don't mess with nature, and to not really have these creatures have barriers, and to just really let life and nature find a way, as it states in the film. So I like kind of what they're doing here, and I really like that it makes a point to that. It then also goes on to find more stuff like how Claire Dearing, Bryce Dallas Howard, and obviously Owen Grady, Chris Pratt are also still in the film, which is really, really good. I loved their characters. I thought they were very, very good. They had great chemistry, and the characters really, really were well done. But this little thing at the end I kind of just want to talk about a little bit, because it says, for the full interview, find the podcast below. The second Jurassic World should be out in June 8th, 2008, once an appropriate director has been found. Now that's something I really just kind of want to talk about, because my problem with, obviously, I think most people's problem with Jurassic Park 3 is seen as the worst one of the series, which it is critically and mainly by fans. It is known as the weakest. And in my opinions, the reason why it wasn't as good was because of the different director. They had a different director for Jurassic Park 3. And so it changed the style, it changed the way of direction, and it completely was a different film. Now, I'm not saying there's obviously anything wrong with films having a different director to go into a different way, into a different style. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just feel like in a trilogy, and a big trilogy such as this, it needs to be kept the same. You look at something like Back to the Future, that had the exact same director all the way throughout, and it's a perfect trilogy, because all the films have the same style, the same feel, and the same effect on the audience to how they feel. And so that's how it worked. And that was the problem with Jurassic Park 3, in my opinion, was because it completely had this different style, and just it made the audience feel a whole lot different to the first two films. Jurassic World, I felt, did that really, really well. It created its own new different style with a contemporary feel and a contemporary audience, and it worked really, really well. I know Jurassic World wasn't perfect, and it probably had its bad points, and to be fair, when I read the reviews that are negative, I can understand their frustration, and I can understand the negative point, because the movie wasn't perfect. I think it is absolutely brilliant, obviously, but that's because I have a personal opinion on Jurassic Park and the Jurassic Park series. It's had a personal impact on my life, but I can understand when people maybe, use it in such a negative way. But this whole point of an appropriate director being found, I'm just a little bit worried about it, because obviously, if they're getting a different director, is that going to change the course of the movie? Is it going to change the style? And obviously in the third one, are they going to have the same director for the third one? Because they've already stated they want to make it into a trilogy. Does that mean that, we're going to be having a different director for the third movie? Is it going to change? In which case, will that be different? So my final thoughts of Jurassic World 2 especially is basically it could be really, really good, but really, could it go into Jurassic Park 3, which is just a pile of absolute shit? So anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to talk about that. I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts and opinions on this topic. I'm a huge fan of Jurassic Park, the entire series, pretty much all of them, obviously barking. Jurassic Park 3, you know, I still enjoy it, but it's not perfect. But I just kind of wanted to bring my thoughts and opinions on this topic, and feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the section below, and until next time, I'll see you later.
You can relate to at least one of those things, right?